Hey guys, it's me, Lucario7, and I've had it. Okay, my last commentary was so half-assed it is ridiculous. So what happened, in case you're either new or don't remember, I made a commentary a few months ago on Gubtil89 because he was being a conservative as usual. I apparently stopped halfway and I said, screw it, I'm done. And the commentary itself was pretty self-explanatory. Believe it or not, I actually had a lot to say about this video, and I feel as if I want to get this all done right now before I do anything else, okay? So, in the meantime, enjoy this commentary while it lasts. Oh, and just to give out a little note here, Gubtil's video was actually, believe it or not, uploaded over 7 months ago, so me personally, I really don't care how this really turns out now, okay? I really don't. Anyway, also, let's stop changing multiple avatars all the time, okay? I just want to pick one, and because I'm so tired of switching back and forth. It's kind of old to me now. So in this case, let's just go with Big Macintosh. Why? Who cares? Let's do this commentary so I can finally sleep at night.
The only people I can think of who would need something as expensive as an iPhone are important people, like a leader of a country or a fireman or policeman.
Gubtil, I have an iPhone, okay? I'm really not so important to everybody, and even I have one, okay? If you really believe that an iPhone should belong to President Obama, or any person with any job that you listed in that argument, then to me, it sounds like you really want Apple to go bankrupt. To take a quote from Angry John, it all depends on the person's needs, okay? My family's previous phone company was raising high bills on our phones and services that we couldn't afford to pay them anymore. So we switched and got iPhones because another phone company was having a sale that's so good that we could afford them. Okay? So you can't just tell everybody with iPhones that they don't need one at all. Okay? And if you talk to some of those people like me, you'd probably get punched in the face.
Online gaming is, of course, another parasite of physical socialization.
I said this in my previous commentary, and I don't care if I say it again. You can still play games online and go outside later and have fun. It is as simple as that.
Like I mentioned earlier, it's causing every single arcade in the world, except in Japan, to lose profit and close.
Actually, Gubtil, I know of an arcade that is still existent in my area. And to my surprise, they're still doing pretty well financially. Also, I've seen many commentaries and rants on your actions saying that there are arcades still running all over the world. Don't believe me? Look at everybody's commentaries and rants. They actually know what they're talking about because I've actually seen their videos.
It isn't just home console ports of arcade games. Do arcades need the World Wide Web to function? Nope. Even though you have to pay to use a game cabinet, Xbox Live does the same thing in the web-enabled world.
So, unlike PlayStation Network, they allow you to access online games for free. Also, if any of you have an Xbox and Xbox Live, that's totally fine by me. You're entitled to your own choice. I just prefer free Wi-Fi over paying for it monthly.
That means you're losing a lot of cash playing a shooter game all day long, and you're not getting out as much as you should.
Just because you're playing a game on the Xbox all the time, you're not really getting any fees for just playing the game offline. That's like saying I'm getting fees just by playing on a 3DS. Okay, that makes absolutely no sense.
While the PlayStation Network and Nintendo Wii's Matrix offer free service, the fact of the matter still stands. The information superhighway can suddenly go down out of the blue, and it can take days or even weeks to be restored.
Gubtil, here are a couple things you need to have hardwired into your brain. 1. It's called the Internet. Nobody really says World Wide Web anymore. 2. The Internet could never go down at all, and even if it does, it can only take a few minutes for it to restore. Simple. And 3. I wouldn't be disconnected unless your internet provider is absolute shit.
If you've seen my second technology rant, it's especially bad if hackers are involved. There's even people whose internet goes down all the time. And sure, the plan for a cyberspace blackout on March 31st was denied, yet there will always be a chance of a blackout because once again, technology isn't perfect.
Why do you even care about technology in today's society, Guptill? I mean, you are a conservative, aren't you? But with all jokes aside, technology is getting better and better every day as far as I know. So, like I said in my previous commentary, you'll just have to accept changes whether you like it or not.
There isn't much to say about film photography and paper letters. Digital cameras and email have almost entirely replaced these two things.
I actually have to be honest here when I say this. I really don't care for photography that much. So, I can't really say much other than I'd prefer digital photos over printed ones from a photosmith.
In short, iPhones, online gaming, what have you, with the exception of computers, are just very expensive toys.
Are you really implying that a $600 iPhone is a toy? I mean, with online video games on Xbox Live, I can understand, but an iPhone that actually saved my parents' financial problem? Really? Oh dear Lord, Guptill. This is just the biggest... This is the dumbest bullshit I've ever heard spewing out of your own mouth. Just... I'm sorry, folks. I need a moment. Just... Excuse me.
These are the things the companies and you think you need.
Trust me when I say this, Guptill. We all need these devices.
And let me remind the viewers that I am talking to regular people.
Well, that wasn't totally offensive at all.
You know what's more important than your expensive smartphones, being glued to your seat playing a web-enabled game, and so on?
Outside and inside exercise, playing an instrument, spending time with a close friend, and of course, book reading.
Are you really gonna go there, Guptill? Really?
But even book reading is getting a little ruined too with a device called the iPad, a device that requires a battery to run, and you can use it to go online and download a book.
You are aware you could still read on an iPad and charge it at the same time, right?
I don't see such a big deal about heading to your local library or Barnes & Noble and picking out a physical book that requires no electricity and can last for eternity.
You do realize the paper within the books could slowly start to rot as time passes, right? But by then, the book wouldn't be so easy to read anymore. So really, it's usually best to just buy the book on an app on the iPad for just $1 or maybe even free depending on the book. Trust me, Guptill, I'd rather have that than go to a local library to buy like a $10 book.
The same thing also applies to renting DVDs. I mean, Netflix and Blockbuster Online are okay, but people have streamed movies and rented them off the web to the point where most, if not every rental store in America has gone out of business.
Yeah, well, that's today's society. Deal with it.
Thankfully, physical DVD rental is still going thanks to Redbox kiosks and public libraries. Again, I don't see anything wrong with heading to either one and browsing around for a movie.
It depends on how far your library is from your current destination. If your library is close to you, for example, then you could just walk there. But if it's too far away, you'll end up driving there, which costs gas. Thankfully, I'm glad I live 1 block away from a library.
You may argue that you'd be paying more for car gas, yet the same thing applies to the delivery people helping Netflix. Besides streaming, would you rather wait for the borrowed movie to arrive at your house, or head to a store or kiosk and purchase it right away? Either way, driving is required, unless you can get there on foot.
So you're really suggesting we drive to our library if necessary? No wonder our economy and environment sucks nowadays.
Seriously though, this quote-unquote on-demand streaming business has got to stop.
Guptill, you and I both know this is never gonna stop. Okay, we're gonna stream, you're gonna deal with it, you can't stop it, get over it.
I just want the people who aren't interested in having cyberspace and mobile phones to be fresh out of luck. In a situation like this, the so-called weak should not have to make room for the strong. Having both physical and electronic interactivity is a more sensible lifestyle for people to live. And I know what most of you are thinking. You're thinking, you idiot, all this is like saying we should go back to using the telegraph and carrier pigeons instead of the telephone.
Don't any of you even find this somewhat ironic, because this is exactly how he wants us to live nowadays? Oh, and these people could be right of one thing, Guptill. You are a bit of an idiot.
Well, that kind of change was proper. The telegraph and phone both require electricity, but the phone is obviously more efficient because the telegraph sent messages through Morse code, and we obviously don't talk in Morse code.
You're an idiot.
On the other hand, something like streaming films through Netflix instead of physically browsing for a movie in a store or library isn't more rewarding. It's just easy.
What exactly is so wrong about everything being easy? Isn't that a good thing?
Sometimes the phone service malfunctions, sometimes the internet service malfunctions, and they leave you no choice but to go an old way.
All I'm saying is, there's more to life than all these nifty devices.
That is true, Guptill. I mean, there are other things that are more important, like getting a car, getting married, having kids. Oh dear God, please kill his spawnlings while you have the chance!
I may use a computer that has internet, but I used it in the way that it was meant to be used. For work, certain research, or for finding something that I can't find elsewhere in the real world, and for broadcasting this message.
Like I said before, don't forget about pornography.
You don't need to be tethered to the internet. Expand your horizons. Like I urged earlier, go for a walk, play an instrument, read a book, go on a date with someone you like, or manually shop for something that doesn't need to be ordered online.
Hey, you can't tell me what to do. I prefer sitting in front of my computer 24/7.
If it's possible in your area. That is all. Thank you for watching.
So now that that's over, here are my final thoughts. Guptill, nobody is really going to listen to you. You can't control the media. You can't control the country. You can't force people to change whatever you want them to be. You can't do shit. People will seriously look down upon you as an incompetent brat who thinks the world would be better back then. If you really, really believe that reverting back to things before will fix our economy, you are sadly mistaken. In fact, I dare you. Yes, that's right. I dare you to make a response to this. Yes, I truly dare you. All you'll end up doing is making yourself look like an idiot out on YouTube and get commentated on by a ton of people who are calling you out on your bullshit. Okay? As for myself, I will continue to use my iPhone, computer, etc. And one last thing. You are not my mother. Okay? You can't tell me shit like going out and exercise. That's my choice and mine alone. Get over it. So now with that being said, this is Lucario Mario 7 reminding you to keep it cool. See you later.